Hey, what's up everybody? Today I'm going to tell you everything new that came with the new Jungle Awakens update. We got a lot with this update. Of course, we got the new Jungle Awakens DLC. We got a new secret level that everybody can enjoy. Even if you don't buy the new Jungle Awakens DLC, you can still play it. And it has two new weapon types. Some enchantments have been nerfed or buffed, either ruining some enchantments or making some really good. And also, soul items and artifacts have been completely reworked. So I'm excited to just get right into this. First up, I want to discuss the Jungle Awakens DLC that came. This is the biggest news today, and the update randomly came out earlier than it was supposed to on some platforms. I believe only on the PC and Xbox One, and for the other platforms it will come out on July 1st at 12 a.m. PDT. The Jungle Awakens DLC comes with 3 new missions, and you unlock them in this order. So first you have the Dingy Jungle, then you have the Overgrown Temple, and then you have a secret level called Panda Plateau, or secret I should say, because they actually show that there is supposed to be a level there. It's pretty evident, but basically to unlock it you have to go to Dingy Jungle and find a scroll there. You'll also notice that at the top of the screen now there is either Island Realms or Mainland. We can switch between these two, and when we're at Mainland we will be at the normal map, and when we go to Island Realms we can see the Jungle Awakens DLC, and also we have a sneak peek at the next DLC called Creeping Winters. As we can see, there are 3 new missions, a new boss battle, some new mobs, and also some new gear. There are also 3 new item types that come with this DLC. We have the Whip, the Ocelot Armor, and the Corrupted Seeds. The Whip is a melee weapon, and it has a unique variation which is called the Vine Whip that has a inflict poison on hit effect. And then we have the Ocelot Armor, and the unique version of it is the Shadow Walker Armor. And then we have the Corrupted Seeds artifact, which will make it so that you briefly entangle mobs, and it will poison entangled mobs. It has a 20-second cooldown, and it does a little bit of damage, not too much. From my testing, it is not too great. So yeah, that's about it for the Jungle Awakens DLC. I'll just say that it is a little bit of content. It's not a huge content pack. There's not any end game content that comes with it, but if you just want to play through a few levels and you will enjoy that, then that is what it entails. Now, looking at our general changes, we have the lower temple secret level that has been added. This is available to everybody. You do not need to buy the Jungle Awakens DLC to have access to this, and this is unlocked at Desert Temple. There are probably already videos showing you how to unlock this. There definitely are, so if you want to find out how, you can. 2 new item types drop from this secret level: the dual crossbows and battle staff. The battle staff already is confirmed to have 2 uniques. One has the committed enchantment as its perk, and the other one has the explosion enchantment as its perk. I don't know what the unique version or versions of the dual crossbows are yet, but that's just something that you'll find out as you play, and it is nice to have some fresh items in the game. Something that's interesting is a new sub difficulty got added to the game. So on Apocalypse difficulty, there is now an Apocalypse 7 difficulty that you can select. The previous highest was Apocalypse 6, and this Apocalypse 7 difficulty drops 105 to 113 power level gear, while Apocalypse 6, which is what we used to have, only dropped power level 100 to power level 108 gears. So we do see an increase of 5 power levels in the gear that we can now get. There's also a new potion that can drop from mobs called the Oak Brew Potion, and this will give you an effect similar to the Ironhide Amulet that gives you damage reduction. Also, a item duplication glitch has been fixed. They don't mention specifically which one. I'm guessing this may be the one where you would make clones of your character and you would just keep on getting obsidian chests, but I'm not sure, so you guys can test that out and let me know. There are also a lot of bug fixes and game optimizations. I'm not going to read through all of them because they're not very significant, but if you do want to check all of them out, you can go to the official Minecraft Dungeons patch notes that I'll leave in the description below. Okay, for enchantments, effects, and items, we have a lot of changes here. Some are really interesting, especially the changes to the soul items and artifacts and how it works, but even to some other enchantments as well. So starting off, the Lifesteal Aura has been buffed from 3% to 6%, but the amount of healing that it can give you has been capped to the actual health of the target. So if you overkill a target with 10,000 more damage than you needed, you're not going to heal for all of that health. You're only going to heal for as much damage as you actually did to the target. So that's pretty interesting. Another really interesting change is that Radiance has been nerfed. Its range has been reduced to 750, so it's now the same as the ranged Radiance enchantment. So it's a pretty significant change, actually. It's a lot smaller. Radiance was also apparently healing twice as much as it should have, is what they posted, and so the healing has been reduced by 50% on Apocalypse difficulty. I'm guessing when they say that, they mean Apocalypse difficulty power level items. So if you get them on Apocalypse difficulty, the Radiance on them is nerfed, and that is a significant nerf. And I definitely noticed this when I was playing today. My Fighter's Bindings with the Radiance enchantment on them were not healing me nearly as much as they used to, so that's a pretty significant change. Also, the ranged version of Radiance enchantment, the chance to trigger was increased from 20% to 50%. So half of the time you are going to be healing with that, but it's a ranged enchantment. But that is interesting. I think we can work on something with that. Maybe you can heal yourself with that, but you can definitely heal allies with that. That's for sure. So definitely some room to play around with there. Getting into the general soul gathering changes, the max souls that you can have is now 300. It used to be 50. And on every soul artifact, you're going to notice that the amount of souls that they use have been increased as well. Soul gathering on gear is now +1 instead of +2. It used to be a +2 buff everywhere, but it's only +1 now. Soul gathering now collected from all gear, no matter what kind of kill it is. So even if you kill something with your melee weapon, but you have soul gathering on your bow, that bow's soul gathering will contribute to your soul gathering from your melee weapon, which it did not do before. All soul themed enchantments give +1 soul gathering now. So Enigma Resonator, Soul Speed, Anima Conduit, all of these now give you +1 soul gathering when you use them, and they are only available on soul items, so don't forget that. Also, soul gathering bonus in armor has been reduced from 100% to 50%. Interesting, because they increased the amount of souls that we can have at the maximum amount, but they are nerfing the amount that we can get. So interesting here. But what's really interesting is the enchantment, and then especially the item changes. So let's get into the enchantment changes real quick. So we have Soul Speed, which the max stack has been reduced from 100 to 5, but the increased speed boost used to be 1% from each stack, and now it is 5%. And the duration at tier 3 is now 7 seconds. It used to be 4 seconds. This has been nerfed. It has been nerfed so bad. You cannot go nearly as fast. It is so bad. You can only get up to a 25% movement speed boost now, instead of the 100% movement speed boost that you used to be able to get. Nerf, 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 nerf. That's what I wrote down in my notes. So yeah, that's what I have to say on that. It has been nerfed. Then we have Anima Conduit, and the amount healed from each tier has been multiplied by 2. So at tier 1, where you used to heal for 3% from each visual soul, you now will heal for 6% from each visual soul. Getting into the Soul Siphon enchantment, each soul collected respects your soul gather bonus. So if your soul gather bonus is +5, then you're gonna get +5 souls for each soul you collect. They also reduce the amount of souls you get from this by a little. That's literally what they said, by a little, and reduced its chance by a little. That's exactly what they said. Then we have the Explosion enchantment. Its explosion radius has been increased by 50%. I just thought this was pretty interesting because right now, or it was pretty inconsistent before, because it would be hard to hit enemies with this explosion radius. But now with this increase by 50%, that's pretty significant, and we might see that this is more utilizable. Next, we have Fire Aspect getting literally double damage, 100% increased damage that's a crazy buff to it. I mean, they really undertuned this initially. I don't know if this is going to be useful even with this buff. Might be worth looking into because it is a double in its initial damage, but I do think that that initial damage was really low as it was, so I'm not sure if we'll see this becoming very popular. For pets, their HP has been halved, but they've gained a 50% damage reduction. Their attack damage has a 10% increase, and each pet type got a specific little buff as well, here and there for each one, but it's not really worth going into them specifically. The stun duration of the snowball that comes from the snowing enchantment on armor has been reduced to 2 seconds from 3 seconds. I thought this is interesting, because since you do stun every second, if you are now only stunning for 2 seconds instead of 3 seconds, that's going to add up. So that's a pretty significant change, I would say. Now we have the soul item changes. The artifacts are especially interesting here, but let me quickly get through the weapons here. So with the soul knife, we have a 40% increase in damage, which is pretty significant, but it's still a really slow attack speed, so I don't know if we're going to see this being very useful. Then we have the soul scythe, which has a few buffs. So increased range by 20%, increased damage by 35%, increased splash damage multiplier from 0.4 to 0.75, and I'm guessing this means that the damage drop off is just less when you do splash damage. But anyways, now getting into the artifacts, this is the interesting stuff. So soul artifact changes. First up, we have the harvester artifact, and its cooldown has been increased from 1 second to 4 seconds. And the max damage has been increased by 60%. Keep in mind, max damage. When it is at the max of the soul meter that it can use up, that is when it will do 60% increased damage. Not all the time. I kind of think of this as a nerf, because before we were able to activate it literally every second, and now it's every 4 seconds. So I'm not sure how this will act. I really don't know with any of these soul items how it's going to act. And keep in mind that all of these soul items have been increased the cooldown, and also the amount of souls that they use has been increased for all of them, even this harvester artifact as well. Then we have the corrupted beacon, which costs 2 souls instead of 1. The cooldown is 2.5 seconds now. I don't think it had a cooldown before. The radiance has been increased, and the damage has been increased by 100%. Doubled damage. Interesting. I think they want to make this a viable artifact, so maybe you can do something with this, because 100% damage increase, it's pretty significant. Then we have the soul healer, which has a cooldown increase from 1 second to 5 seconds, and the healing per soul got decreased. Nerfed. Nerf. The soul healer got nerfed. This is so comedic. This is so ironic. I just made a build guide utilizing so many soul items, and the soul speed enchantment and the soul healer, and it's just been nerfed. Every aspect of the build that I was abusing with that build got nerfed. So maybe somebody at Mojang Studios is watching my videos. I think that's what's happening. But anyways, yeah, that's a nerf to the soul healer. It can only be activated every 5 seconds. Are you kidding me? Before it was activated every 1 second. That's what made it so good. It's still pretty good. But it's been nerfed, okay? Then we have the Torment Quiver, which has a increasing cooldown from 1 second to 6 seconds, which is pretty significant, and that is a nerf for sure. But that's it. That's it for the patch notes, and also just I threw in some stuff that I figured out or I saw in the game. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this patch notes video. If you want to see more patch notes from me, make sure to let me know. Comment down below. Comment down below what you want to see in general from this Jungle Awakens DLC. Other than that, I have made another patch notes video for the previous patch. If you want to check that out, you can. And also, I am going to be uploading a lot of Jungle Awakens DLC content, so just stick around and leave a like, comment, subscribe. If you enjoyed, I would really appreciate it. And I will see you all in the next video. Peace out, everybody. Thank you.